I won't ask anymore, old man. Do you have it or not?
What, officer? I'm just sitting here thinking about my friend.
Don't pretend. You know what I'm talking about.
Police ordered K-9 to attack elderly black veteran. No one expected what the dog did next. When officers commanded K-9 Max to attack 73-year-old Marcus Harris for suspicious behavior, the German Shepherd shocked everyone by refusing orders. But what happened next would expose a conspiracy that threatened everything Marcus held dear. Riverside Park's autumn peace shattered at 4:17 p.m. 3 patrol cars surrounded the weathered bench where Marcus Harris sat alone. Their red and blue lights painted the dying leaves like blood. Children's laughter from nearby playground mixed with radio chatter. Something was wrong, very wrong. The elderly black man holding a faded photograph had no idea he was about to become the center of a scandal that would rock the police department to its core. Marcus Harris, 73, clutched Duke's photograph like a lifeline. His German Shepherd had died saving 7 Marines in Vietnam. That was 1972. Marcus still came here every day at 4 p.m. to remember. His weathered hands shook, not from age, from the envelope in his jacket pocket. Inside that envelope, evidence that could destroy corrupt cops who'd been covering up brutality cases for years. Marcus had been gathering proof for months. Photos, documents, recordings, all because his grandson Jamal had been beaten by police 6 months ago. The same officers now surrounding his bench. Today was supposed to be simple. Meet his contact, hand over the evidence, finally get justice for Jamal. But someone had tipped them off. "Good boy, Duke," Marcus whispered to the photograph. "Wish you were here, soldier." The Purple Heart in his pocket felt heavy, heavier than the pistol he'd stopped carrying after Jamal's beating. Violence wouldn't solve this. Only truth would. But truth had a way of getting people killed in this city. Some battles you fight with bullets, others you fight with evidence. The deadliest ones you fight alone. "Suspicious individual reported in Riverside Park," crackled through radios. Officers Jake Morrison and Tommy Walsh approached fast. Morrison's face was stone. He'd beaten Jamal Harris 6 months ago. Now the old man had evidence that could send Morrison to prison, unless that evidence disappeared, along with the witness. "Marcus Harris," Morrison said. Not a question, a threat. Marcus looked up. His heart stopped. Morrison, the cop who'd put Jamal in the hospital, standing 5 feet away with murder in his eyes. "Officer Morrison," Marcus kept his voice steady. "Beautiful day. Cut the shit, old man. Where is it? Where's what?" Morrison's hand moved to his gun. The envelope, the photos, all of it. So they did know. Marcus felt the evidence burning in his jacket. His contact was late, phone dead, no backup plan. "I don't know what you're talking about." Wrong answer. Morrison nodded to Walsh. "Call it in. Elderly black male acting erratically. Possible weapon." Marcus's blood turned to ice. They were setting him up. Same way they'd set up Jamal. Claim he was dangerous, use force, eliminate the threat. But Marcus had survived Vietnam. Corrupt cops wouldn't break him. "You killed that teenager last month," Marcus said quietly. "I have proof." Morrison's face went white. "You have nothing. Video footage says different. Audio recordings, bank records showing payoffs, your whole dirty network." Walsh's hand dropped to his radio. "This is Unit 12. Need K-9 backup? Suspect has weapon." Marcus wasn't armed. They knew it. But K-9 units didn't ask questions. They just attacked. "Last chance, Harris. Give us the evidence. Walk away alive." Marcus had 2 choices. Hand over the evidence and let Jamal's beating go unpunished, or stand his ground and probably die in this park. He thought of Duke. His German Shepherd had died protecting Marines who couldn't protect themselves. Sometimes you made the hard choice. Evidence is already uploaded to the cloud, Marcus lied. Kill me and it goes public automatically. Morrison laughed. No, it's not. We checked your internet history. You're not that smart, old man. They'd been watching him. For how long? His apartment, his phone, everything? K9 sirens wailed in the distance, getting closer. Marcus pulled out his phone. Dead battery, no way to call for help. No witnesses except kids on playground. Parents would run when violence started. He was alone, just like in Vietnam when Duke died. You're making a mistake, Marcus said. The only mistake was letting you live this long, Morrison replied. Should have handled this 6 months ago. They'd planned this. Marcus gathering evidence wasn't accident, it was trap. Let him collect proof, then eliminate him and destroy everything at once. But Marcus had one advantage they didn't know about. The evidence wasn't in the envelope. K9 unit screeched into parking lot. Officer David Chen jumped out with Max, a massive German Shepherd trained to kill on command. What's the situation? Chen asked. Armed suspect refusing to comply. Morrison lied. Threatening civilians. Chen looked at Marcus. Elderly man sitting peacefully on bench. No visible weapon. Something felt wrong. But orders were orders. Max, ready, Chen commanded. The German Shepherd tensed, eyes locked on Marcus, muscles coiled to attack. Marcus stared into Max's eyes. Brown eyes. Intelligent, just like Duke's. Hello, soldier, Marcus whispered. Max tilted his head. Something in Marcus's voice, his scent, his posture. Recognition flickered across the dog's face. Deploy now, Morrison shouted. He's reaching for something. Marcus slowly pulled out Duke's photograph. Max saw it, saw the uniform, the handler's stance, the bond between man and dog captured forever. Max whined softly. Attack! Now! Chen ordered. Max took one step toward Marcus, then stopped, sat down, placed his paw on Marcus's knee. Morrison's face twisted with rage. What the hell? But Marcus felt something else in his jacket. Not the envelope. A recording device, still running. Everything Morrison had said, recorded. The real evidence. Sometimes the best weapon isn't what you carry, it's what carries you through the darkness when all hope seems lost. Max, attack! Chen screamed. His dog ignored him completely. Max pressed closer to Marcus, protecting him, just like Duke had protected those Marines. Morrison's radio crackled. Unit 23 requesting backup. We have civilians filming. Cell phones everywhere, parents recording, kids watching. Morrison's cover story crumbling in real time. Get that dog under control, Morrison barked. Chen tried pulling Max away. The German Shepherd growled. At his own handler, defending Marcus. Morrison drew his weapon. Suspect is armed and dangerous. I'm not armed, Marcus said loudly. For the cameras, for the recording device. He has the evidence, Morrison shouted back. The photos, the corruption files. Wrong thing to say. Now everyone knew there was evidence. Corruption, cover-up. Social media was already exploding. Tekka Max, the hero trending. Videos going viral. But Morrison wasn't done. He had backup coming. Dirty cops who'd help him finish this. Plant a weapon. Claim self-defense. Kill Marcus and destroy the evidence. Marcus checked his watch. 4:23 p.m. His contact would be here any minute, if Morrison didn't kill him first. More patrol cars arrived, but these weren't Morrison's allies. Captain Rodriguez stepped out. clean cop. The reason Marcus had gathered evidence in the first place. "Morrison, stand down." "Captain, suspect is armed." Bullshit. Rodriguez had seen the viral videos, knew what was really happening. "Holster your weapon." Morrison hesitated. Gun still drawn, crowd growing, media arriving. This was spiraling out of control. "Morrison," Rodriguez repeated, voice deadly calm. "Holster your weapon." Morrison looked around. 20 phones recording. News van pulling up. Captain Rodriguez staring him down. He holstered the gun, but whispered to Walsh, "Get ready." Marcus caught it. They weren't giving up, just changing tactics. Rodriguez approached slowly. "Mr. Harris, I'm Captain Rodriguez. Are you injured?" "Not yet," Marcus replied, "but I have information you need to hear." "What kind of information?" Marcus pulled out the recording device. Still running, Morrison's confession crystal clear. "The kind that ends careers." Morrison lunged forward. "He's lying," Max snarled. Blocked Morrison's path. Rodriguez held up his hand. Everyone calmed down. But Morrison was past calm, past rational. If that recording went public, he'd lose everything. Pension, freedom, life. He had to stop it. "Rodriguez, that man is terrorist," Morrison screamed. "He's planning to bomb the playground." Parents panicked, grabbed children, ran for exits. Perfect chaos, just what Morrison needed. In the confusion, Walsh circled behind Marcus, gun drawn but hidden. Marcus saw him coming, nowhere to run. Max couldn't protect him from all angles. Rodriguez was shouting orders, trying to restore control. But chaos was spreading. Marcus made decision. He tossed the recording device to Rodriguez. "Everything you need is on there." The device flew through air. Morrison lunged for it, missed. Rodriguez caught it, hit play. Morrison's voice filled the park. "You killed that teenager last month. I have proof." Then Morrison's response, "Wrong answer. Call it in. Elderly black male acting erratically." The setup, the lies, the corruption, all recorded. Morrison knew he was finished. Prison, disgrace, everything gone. So he made his own decision. He drew his gun, not at Marcus, at Rodriguez. "Give me that recording, now." Captain stared down the barrel. "Morrison, don't do this." Too late for that. Walsh had his gun on Marcus. Chen was struggling with Max, crowd screaming, everything falling apart. But Marcus heard something else. Motorcycles, lots of them, getting closer. 50 Harleys roared into parking lot. Hell's Angels, Marcus's real backup plan. Their leader, Bones McKenzie, stepped off his bike, surveyed the scene. Cops with guns drawn, dog protecting elderly black man, chaos everywhere. "Problem here, officers?" Morrison swung his gun toward the bikers. "This is police business." "Marcus called us," Bones said calmly. "Said he might need help." Marcus smiled. The real plan, not a contact, not evidence upload. Brotherhood. Hell's Angels owed Marcus a debt. 5 years ago, he'd helped their members get clean, rehab programs, job training, second chances. Now they were returning the favor. 50 witnesses, Bones announced, all with cameras, all recording. Morrison realized his situation. Dirty cop threatening captain, viral videos, media attention. Hell's Angels as witnesses, he was trapped. But cornered animals were most dangerous. "Everyone dies," Morrison snarled, "starting with the old man." He turned his gun back toward Marcus. Max leaped. Gunshot echoed through park. But who was hit? Sometimes salvation comes on 2 wheels and 4 paws, and the real battle is just beginning. Max hit Morrison mid-shot. Bullet went wide, shattered tree branch above Marcus's head. Morrison went down hard. Gun skittered away. But Walsh still had his weapon trained on Rodriguez. Nobody move. Standoff. Dirty cop versus clean captain. Hell's Angels surrounding them. Max standing over Morrison, growling. Walsh, Rodriguez said carefully, think about this. Your family. Your future. My future's over if that recording goes public, Walsh replied. I was there when we beat the Harris kid. I watched Morrison plant drugs. I'm just as guilty. Marcus's heart stopped. Walsh was admitting to Jamal's beating on camera with witnesses. But Walsh wasn't done talking. You want to know the truth? We didn't just beat your grandson. We killed him. The words hit Marcus like bullets. What? Jamal Harris didn't die in prison fight like we reported. Morrison beat him to death in his cell, made it look like gang violence. Marcus felt his world collapse. Jamal was dead, his grandson, his only family. You're lying, Marcus whispered. Bodies in unmarked grave outside city limits, along with 6 other kids we couldn't let testify. Rodriguez looked sick. Walsh, shut up. You're making it worse. Worse? Walsh laughed. It can't get worse. We're all going down. But Marcus wasn't listening anymore. Jamal was dead, had been dead for months. While Marcus collected evidence for nothing, everything was for nothing. Rage built inside him, pure volcanic rage. Morrison was getting up. Reaching for backup gun, Marcus made his choice. Marcus charged Morrison, 73 years old but moving like young soldier. Morrison raised his gun. Marcus hit him like freight train. They crashed into bench, rolled across concrete, fighting for the weapon. You killed my grandson, Marcus roared. He was trash. Morrison gasped back. Just like you. Marcus got his hands on Morrison's throat, squeezing, all his training, all his rage. Morrison's face turned purple. Marcus, stop, Rodriguez shouted. Don't become like them. But Marcus couldn't stop, wouldn't stop. Jamal's face in his mind, his grandson's laugh, his dreams of college, all destroyed by the man beneath his hands. Please, Morrison croaked, I have kids. So did I, Marcus snarled. Bones Mackenzie appeared beside them. Brother, that's enough. He killed Jamal. I know, but this isn't justice. This is revenge. Marcus's hands loosened slightly. Morrison gasped air. There's difference between justice and murder, Bones continued. Your grandson wouldn't want you to become killer. Marcus looked into Bones's eyes, saw wisdom there, understanding. Slowly, he released Morrison's throat. Morrison collapsed, gasping, but Walsh was still armed, still dangerous. Touching reunion, Walsh sneered. Now everyone dies, starting with Grandpa. He swung gun toward Marcus. Rodriguez dove sideways, tackled Walsh. Gunshot. Rodriguez went down. Blood everywhere. Rodriguez was hit. Shoulder wound. Bleeding badly, but alive. Walsh scrambled for his gun. Found it. Hell's Angels moved closer, but weapons made them hesitate. Too many civilians around. Walsh back toward exit. Gun sweeping crowd. Everyone stays back. I'm walking out of here. But he'd forgotten about Max. German Shepherd flanked him quietly, just like Duke used to do in jungle. Walsh sensed movement, turned. Max was airborne. This time, the gunshot was different, sharper, from distance. Police sniper, building across street. Walsh dropped. Max landed safely beside Marcus. Morrison tried crawling away. Hell's Angels surrounded him. Not so fast, Bones said. Emergency vehicles everywhere. Paramedics working on Rodriguez. Media pushing forward. Marcus sat on his bench, holding Duke's photograph. Justice for Jamal. Finally. But at what cost? His grandson was still dead, still buried in unmarked grave. nothing would bring him back. "Mr. Harris," reporter thrust microphone forward, "how does it feel to expose this corruption?" Marcus looked at camera, thought about his answer. "It feels like losing everything twice," he said quietly. "Sometimes winning feels exactly like losing until you realize you're fighting for everyone who can't fight for themselves." 3 months later, federal courtroom packed. Morrison and Walsh faced murder charges, conspiracy, civil rights violations. The recording device had captured everything. Marcus sat in witness box, telling Jamal's story, his grandson's dreams, his death, the cover-up. Defense attorney tried breaking him down. "Mr. Harris, isn't it true you planned this confrontation? Brought armed bikers to threaten police?" "I brought friends to witness truth," Marcus replied. "Only weapons were theirs." Hell's Angels filled courthouse benches, silent support. Max sat beside Marcus, officially retired from K-9 unit, new partner now. Chen had requested transfer. Couldn't work with department that ordered dogs to attack innocent people. Rodriguez recovered from gunshot. Testified about years of corruption, cover-ups, missing evidence, 18 dirty cops arrested, whole network exposed. But Marcus felt empty. Justice was hollow when person you sought it for was gone. "Your Honor," prosecutor said, "we have one more piece of evidence." Video screen lowered. Jamal's face appeared. Home movie. Christmas morning. Jamal laughing with grandfather. Planning future. Dreams intact. Marcus broke down crying. "Ladies and gentlemen of jury," prosecutor began closing arguments. "This case isn't just about corruption. It's about murder, cover-up, system that failed its citizens." Marcus watched jurors' faces, some sympathetic, others skeptical. Morrison's lawyer had painted different picture. Veteran with PTSD, dangerous, threatening police with fake evidence. Defendant claims he was gathering evidence of police brutality, defense argued, but real evidence shows disturbed individual making false accusations. Lies, but convincing lies. Marcus worried. What if jury believed them? What if Morrison walked free? "We'll now hear victim impact statements," judge announced. Marcus approached podium. Courthouse silent. "Jamal Harris was 22 years old," he began, voice shaking. "He wanted to be teacher, help kids like himself." Photos of Jamal flashed on screen. Childhood, graduation, dreams. "These men didn't just kill my grandson, they killed his future, his students, his children, everyone he might have helped." Marcus looked directly at Morrison. "You stole more than life. You stole possibility." Morrison stared back. No remorse, no regret, just hatred. Jury deliberated 6 hours. Marcus waited in hallway, Hell's Angels providing quiet support. Chen sat with Max, both outcasts now, neither fitting old roles. "Whatever happens," Chen said, "you did right thing." "Did I?" Marcus asked. "Jamal's still dead. Nothing changes that." "But other kids might live. Other families won't go through this." "Maybe. Hard to see future through present pain." Rodriguez appeared, arms still in sling. "Jury's coming back." Courtroom packed again. Media cameras rolling. Marcus's hand shook. "Have you reached verdict?" Judge asked. "Yes, Your Honor." Foreman stood. Read charges. Morrison's fate hanging on next words. "Count 1, murder in first degree. We find defendant guilty." Morrison's face collapsed. His wife sobbed. "Count 2, conspiracy to commit murder. Guilty." Each guilty verdict hit like hammer blow. Walsh got same treatment. Life sentences, no parole, justice. Finally. But Marcus felt hollow. Victory tasted like ashes. Outside courthouse, media frenzy. Marcus pushed through crowd, just wanted to go home. Mr. Harris, how do you feel about verdict? What's next for you? Will you sue the city? Marcus stopped, turned to cameras. Justice isn't about revenge, he said quietly. It's about prevention, making sure this never happens again. What will you do now? Marcus looked at Max. German Shepherd watched him with intelligent eyes, waiting. I'm going to finish what Jamal started. Help kids who need advocates. Make sure their voices are heard. Reporter pushed closer. With Hell's Angels' help? With anyone who believes justice matters more than uniform color. Bones McKenzie stepped forward. Hell's Angels pledges support for Harris Justice Foundation. Will protect anyone fighting corruption. Unlikely alliance. Decorated veteran, biker gang, retired police dog, but it worked. They'd proven that. Mr. Harris, final question. Any message for other victims? Marcus thought of Duke, of Jamal, of all the battles fought and lost. Don't fight alone, he said. Find your pack. Trust your allies. Justice is team sport. 1 year later, Harris Justice Foundation had helped expose corruption in 12 cities. Hell's Angels provided security for witnesses. Max helped counsel traumatized victims. Marcus visited Jamal's new grave, proper headstone now, full military honors for grandfather who'd served. We did it, grandson, Marcus whispered. Morrison's in prison, systems changing, kids are safer. Max placed paw on gravestone, understanding grief, sharing it. Bones arrived with weekly report, foundation cases, success stories, lives saved. Jamal would be proud, Bones said. Think so? No so. His grandfather didn't just seek justice, he created it. Marcus smiled. First real smile since Jamal died. Come on, Max. Work to do. They walked toward parking lot. Hell's Angels forming escort. Another case. Another chance to help. Marcus pulled out his phone. New message. Mr. Harris, my son was beaten by police. I have evidence, but I'm scared. Can you help? Marcus typed back, You're not alone anymore. We're coming. He looked at Duke's photograph, then at Max. Ready, soldiers? Max barked once. Ready. Justice never rested. Neither would they. Harris Justice Foundation exposed police corruption in 23 cities while generating $500 million in settlements for brutality victims. Morrison and Walsh received life sentences, creating legal precedent for prosecuting officers who murder civilians. Hell's Angels established victim protection programs in 15 states, while Max became national symbol of moral courage transcending species boundaries. Chen founded ethical K-9 training programs preventing dogs from being weaponized against innocent civilians. The foundation helped 2,000-plus families seek justice while transforming public perception of unlikely alliances between veterans, motorcycle clubs, and working animals united in protecting vulnerable populations from institutional failures. 5 years later, Marcus had transformed personal tragedy into systematic reform while establishing precedent that justice requires courage from unexpected sources willing to challenge corrupt authority. At 78, he continued honoring Jamal's memory by protecting other families from police violence that destroys communities through institutional racism and cover-ups that protect criminals wearing badges. His partnership with Hell's Angels proved that brotherhood transcends stereotypes when united by shared commitment to protecting innocent people from those who abuse power. They learned that some bonds are forged in fire, others in faithfulness, but the strongest are written in the hearts of those who understand that loyalty has no color, no uniform, only truth that emerges when courage meets justice in defense of those who cannot defend themselves against systems designed to silence rather than serve them. Some bonds are forged in fire, others in faithfulness, but the strongest are written in the hearts of those who understand that loyalty has no color, no uniform, only truth.